Hi everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, we're gonna be ranking every single item in the Castlevania Symphony of the Night game. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And it's gonna be based on my randomizer experience. I'm assuming an item has its vanilla stats and or vanilla attribute, and that is how I'm gonna classify and rank those items in this tier list to come. So we're starting off with the Alucard gear here. Alucard Mayo, clear case of B item. It's good. It gives a lot of defense. It has a lot of resistance and stuff like that. So it's a solid one. It's not enough to finish the game on its own though. Alucard Shield. It's like the best damage in the game. Of course, it needs to be paired with Shield Rod and or Mablong, but it needs to go on the S+ category. There's no way. Alucard Sword, definitely an A tier. It's very solid. It's enough to finish the game on its own. It's not the fastest way to finish the game, but it's, again, very solid. Attack Potion, it's probably low A, because an attack potion can make a very bad sword good enough to finish the game. X-Lord Armor, clear case of just a mean. Basilard attacks really quickly. It's gonna go on C because it can be useful in these situations when you have stat randomization. On its own, it's bad. So cloaks are just a meme. It's just to check drip and stuff like that, but it's just a meme. Holy Mayo is like a good piece of armor. Buffalo Star, I think it's an S. It works every time. It deals great damage. It's fast, but it's not Alucard Shield territory. Even though in some cases I choose Buffalo Stars over Alucard Shield, depending on the gear that I have. Just because if I'm doing save splits or if I need to be reapplying this shield spell. Bawaka Knife is high B, just because the pattern, it just rolls a little bit too much, so I don't like. Chakram is surprisingly very solid. It can solo pretty much everybody, and it's a very great offhand weapon. Trust Swords, I think they're a B tier. It's better to have Trust Swords than armor, so they're B tier. They're not enough to finish the game on their own. It's gonna take like years. They don't deal great deal of damage, and they also are very slow. This is Combat Knife. Combat Knife, I think, should be like high B. They are really, really good. Covenant Stone, it's a B for sure. We have the 3 sprites here, so I'm gonna go with Heaven Sword first. Heaven Sword first. Chakram territory, it might be, yeah. It's very solid. It deals a lot of damage too. Vorpal Blade is S tier. It needs to be S tier because you can also shield dash cancel with it. It might be S+, guys, because it deals a lot of damage. It swings really fast, has a big hitbox, and also shield dash with it. I think it's S+, guys. And Chrysogram is also S+. I think I'd rather have a Vorpal if I don't have a shield, but overall, just a Chrysogram solos you the game. Cross Shuriken, it's higher up than Bawaka Knife for sure. I think it's low A. Dark Blade. Dark Blade is very solid as well. I think it goes in the same category as Alucard Sword. It deals a lot of damage, double hits. It's nice. Dark Shield. I think those sort of shields would go like here. Drag Tunic. It's better than Alucard Mayo in most scenarios. It increases your attack by a little bit more. Dragon Helm. Very solid. Cuts the enemy's defenses in half. Yeah, I think it is an S. Good Friend Duplicator, it's there. S+, absolutely best item in the game. Even if you have like a Duplicator and a Bawaka Knife, it's enough to like finish the game really quickly. Yeah, Duplicator is definitely the best item in the game, in my opinion. Alucard's fists are very, very solid. It's low A or high B. It's enough to finish the game on its own, but you're gonna run into a lot of trouble, same as you would with a Trust Sword. So I think it's gonna be a high B tier. S-Stock. S-Stock is like, I hate it. I hate it. It's gonna go on bad. It can be useful because it's a Trust Sword, but it's not on the same level as the other Trust Swords. Firebrand. Firebrand it's good, but I don't think it's enough to finish a game on its own. Fire Mayo, I don't think it's in the same category as Alucard Mayo and Holy Mayo. It's just bad. Fire Shield is very solid. I don't think Dark Shield is in the same category as Fire Shield. Fire Shield is better. Lucas is A tier. Like absolutely A tier. You can finish the game with it. It deals a lot of damage. It has some very cool special attacks. I don't have much experience with it. Fury Mayo gives a lot of defense and it also increases your offense by 1, if I'm not mistaken. I would put it like in the same category as Alucard Mayo. Gauntlet. +5 attack is good, but it's B tier. It's not enough to finish the game on its own. God's Garb. This is probably the best armor in the game when it comes to giving you defense. But still, defense doesn't matter in this game because we have all these overpowered items that you can just kill the enemies really quickly with them. So even though this is probably the best armor in the game, it's gonna go here. Graham is very solid. It deals a lot of damage and it double hits. Probably confident enough finishing the game with the Graham. Gurtang. So guys, bear with me here. I'm gonna be biased, but Gurtang is my favorite weapon in the game. So it's definitely gonna go S+. I know it's probably not correct. I know it, but I'm gonna go very biased in this and I'm gonna put it amongst the best items in the game. Harper, I think it's probably in the same category as Graham, just a little bit lower because I think Graham does more damage. Heart Refresh, it's probably high C. It freezes the screen for a long time. It gives you iframes, but I don't think that's enough to go B. I think it's high C and there's that. Holy Rod, it's probably high B. It's not in the same category as Alucard and stuff like that. Holy Sword, it's very underrated. I think this is a good spot for Holy Sword. Ice Brand, guys. I think Ice Brand is a little bit better than Holy Sword. Iron Shield, I think it's a cut above Fire Shield. The spell costs less. I think maybe Iron Shield is even S tier. It's better than Fire Shield for some bosses. Fire Shield is better for others. And you get a lot of iframes from projectiles, which is very good. Masamune is definitely an S tier. Yeah, it's higher than Gurtang. Gurtang is only here because I love it. It's my favorite weapon. Library card. Is it S+? No, I don't think. I think it's S. High S, maybe? Yeah, high S, I guess. Mablong is S tier because it deals a lot of damage. It's comparable to those 4 or 5 weapons here. But it has an upside, a very good upside, that it works with shields. I'm gonna rank this as Luminous / Sword of Hador, and it's comparable to Harper. Wow, look at this Mana Prism sprite. This is great, eh? Wow, really great. Mana Prism is B tier. It's very good if paired with Duplicator. Yeah. Bottom of A. I think it's a little bit better. We usually don't even benefit very much from a single Mana Prism. It's good, don't get me wrong, Grant, but it's not as good as people make it sound. Usually when I find one Mana Prism without a Duplicator, I almost always forget to use the Mana Prism when it matters the most, and you tend to like just save it in case you find a Duplicator. Marsu, I think it's A tier, but if I knew I was only gonna get one weapon in the game, I would rather have any one of those 5 than Marsu. Medusa Shield, I think it's close with Fire Shield. Okay, now Monster Vials, I think they're bumped up to B tier because of the Vial stacks. Moonrod is actually a very good weapon. I don't think it's good enough to go on the A tier, but it's definitely a B tier. It's a very good, very solid weapon. Marmagill, it's not on the same category as those. There's a lot of enemies that resist this, so I will put it on B tier as well. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Mornblade is enough to finish a game on its own, but by itself it would take a long time because it doesn't deal as much damage as those. I think it's still an A. Red Rust is just a meme, no question about it. Mystic Pennant, Lycanthrope made me change my mind. about this item. And now I think it's in the same category as a Mana Prison. If I don't have a duplicator, Mystic Pendant is way better than Mana Prison. Obsidian Sword, I think it's one of my favorite trust swords, so it's gonna go higher up on that. There's no elixir or high potions here, so I'm gonna rate them all with the potion sprite. I guess it's just B, because you kind of need iframes every once in a while. Pictures of Dead, I think, is S tier, guys. It can get you out of a lot of sticky situations, even without a duplicator. And now with the recent discovery of Biostax, Ring of Ares is a very polarizing item. I see a lot of people saying this is great, and a lot of people don't even equip it because it pretty much gets your defense back to 0. More inclined to agree with just don't get hit. Ring of Ares and Dragon Helm. Those are comparable in my opinion. Makes you deal more damage, but this cuts the enemy's defense in half. Ring of Varda. Auto F tier. Yeah, this is absolutely trash, guys. This is the worst item in the game. Whenever I pick this up, I just try and sell it to the librarian, and not even the librarian wants to buy it for $0 because it's so bad. This is definitely an S plus tier. Is it better than Duplicator though? Yeah, Varda is probably the best item in the game by itself. Shield Rod is A tier. It can't be in the same category as Mablong. It just can't. Mablong is way better. It does the same thing that Shield Rod does, but better. So it needs to be 1 tier below. Spikebreaker is my most equipped armor in the game. It's decent at defense, but that's not why I'm ranking it this high. It can help a lot with movements. I'd rather have Spikebreaker than God's Garb any day of the week. Absolutely. Stone Sword. It can be useful against DOP and DOP alone. It's a bad weapon on its own. It stuns other enemies, but I think that's actually a downside. I'm gonna be honest, because I'm actually expecting the enemies to do a movement. I don't like the slowdown that Stone Sword does. It just messes with my timing, so I really don't like it. Yeah, guys, this is it. This is the end of my Sultan tier list. Let's just quickly run through this and make sure that nothing is misplaced. Is Ring of Varda actually the best item in the game, or is it Duplicator? I was more inclined to the Duplicator when I started this. Let me think this through. Varda is better for early game, but Duplicator has a very big payout. Even if you get like B tier stuff, like if you have a potion and a block knife, it's enough to finish the game. When are you playing a seed that you don't have anything to use with Duplicator? Yeah, on the average case, you always have something to use with Duplicator. Yeah, I think this looks better for me. Yeah, I think Duplicator is the best item in the game. You can use it with any throwables. You can use it with... Yeah, I think Duplicator is the best item in the game, in my opinion. Followed very closely by Varda. So there you go, guys. This is the final product here. Make sure to pause the video and let me know in the comments down below what you think I got it wrong. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you're notified as soon as I upload a new video. So thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.